So Peter is incredibly troubled when he finds this photograph because, as he says to Dolores, "Have you ever seen anything like this?" And she, almost as if programmed, says, "It doesn't look like anything to me." But as we spend more time with Peter's character, he seems to grow more and more troubled, and he keeps looking at the photograph because to his AI, which has just been updated as the park has been doing updates. And basically, we learned that the updates have had an added feature that was not planned, in which this guy, Dr. Robert Ford, basically added little subtleties that humans have, like the way you touch your lip or the way you scratch your nose, and he added these sort of artful expressions to the robot's code in order to make them seem more human-like. But, as we learn in the episode, this has also caused them to kind of open this portal or wormhole into subtly questioning their reality. And Dolores' father, Peter, this formerly quite affable, simple, still robot, but let's call him man for the sake of the video, suddenly is overtaken with worry and stress and anxiety. And he pulls Dolores in close and he whispers to her, "These violent delights have violent ends." A very foreboding and ominous statement from her father. Now, as you can imagine, this is incredibly troubling to Bernard and Dr. Ford, who are the sort of chief engineers of these humanoid robots. Dr. Ford, the one who did the reveries, the sort of little, tiny gestures that make humans more lifelike, almost seems like he's hiding some kind of secret, especially when Peter's character is taken offline and out of the park and sort of questioned about his motives. Peter, who is somehow able to access the previous reboots and updates to his programming, has memories and is able to improvise with all of those previous memories and code to sort of create his own reality. And these violent delights have violent ends comes from when he was a previous character in a different part of the park and was the mad scientist professor. Now, this is particularly troubling to Bernard and Dr. Ford, because it would imply that these AI beings have mastery of their memory. And so much of the coding is done to ensure that these AI beings have no recollection of the horrible atrocities that happened to them in the park. Which is why, despite heartbreak, horrible violations, death, they wake up with pristine hair, pristine costuming, back in their beds, with no memory of what's happened before. But something feels different about Dolores' father. Something that tells us, as the viewer, that things are about to change.